So I decided to go outside for a walk. And I just was upset because I just feel like things need to be said. So I just don't like the fact that people just don't tell the truth about stuff. They just don't. We are in a situation where people do and say what they want to do and say what they think is effective to their grown kids. And I'm just gonna tell you, from being a 90s baby, looking in, listen, I get that y'all's parents when y'all was kids was horrible at times, but being horrible to us now that we're grown, it's like you're making us like hate everything. And I'm not saying we're spoiled, I'm not saying some of us are anything. I'm just saying, if you know that when you have a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, there's a certain level of space you got to give that person, period. Nobody feels like constantly being in a situation where somebody needs to keep validating that, oh, I'm grown, oh, I'm grown, oh, I'm grown. What? What kind of sense does that make? Oh, I'm grown. Why? Why should I have to tell you how grown I am? Why? Why should I have to do that? Like, I learned as I got older, I had to let go of a lot of friends. Some friends that was disrespectful. Like, for example, this one girl, I'll say friend A, was one of my roommates in college, and she was a complete jerk because I stayed with her and I was in the process of going through stuff with a family member, and she just got disrespectful and rude. Not only does she have my clothes, she's got my bedding and all the stuff that my mom bought me on her bed. I gave her $500 one time because she needed to pay bills and stuff. Still never gave it back. You know what I'm saying? And she does this every time she gets a boyfriend. She changes up all the time. I have another friend. I'll just say she's friend J. She just recently got married in 2000, I don't know, let's just say 19. Okay, they go to a religious church. She's got a couple of degrees, but she felt like she had the audacity to tell me, basically, the audacity to give my mother a diagnosis. And I felt like, how can you diagnose somebody if you're not a doctor? That's all I'm trying to say. I thought the only people that diagnose a person is people that have a doctorate's degree. And she just is at mastery level. So what I learned is women do stuff when they just want to be funny. And they just say stuff just because they want to be hateful. But when it starts affecting you emotionally, like, it made me upset because I've been friends with this girl since we were kids. And for her to sit there and say that, oh, this is a big, small deal, it's a big deal to you. It's a big deal to you because you weren't woman enough to deal with the situation. It's not a big deal because we were just fussing at each other. You feel like I violated you because I told my mom some things. Well, guess what? She didn't have to know anything because she heard me when we were screaming at each other. She asked me if I talked to you. I said yes. She asked for your number. I gave it to her. You disrespected her, period. And you're spoiled. That's part of the problem. You're spoiled. You feel like everybody owes you something just because your mom gave you everything. And then gonna have the nerve to say we can't be friends anymore because I live in fear. First of all, your whole life is fear. How are you gonna give a diagnosis when your older brothers stay in prison all the time? Younger brother can't even keep themselves out of the law, out of problems with the law. Your mom basically makes y'all speak Spanish. That's what she used to do to y'all. And she's got a drinking problem. Where's your dad at? Exactly. So don't sit there and try to tell me about me and all this other stuff. And I'm not being entitled. I'm just saying, as grown-ups, since we're going to take it like that, I have to be honest about it. Y'all were both disrespectful because I would come from a loving place. I'm not the right, and I'm not always in the wrong. But I'm just saying, when your friend does stuff to you and does things for you, don't be an ass. And forgive me for saying that, but don't be an a-hole. Don't be an a-hole. There's no reason to be. And that's the reason why most of my friends are men instead of women, because I just feel like y'all just be on that petty stuff. And I'm saying y'all as in my ex-friends. You know? And she could have just told me the real reason why she wanted me to have a male friend is because of the fact that she felt like I was going to take her husband. And that was not the case. I would never take anybody's husband. That's disgusting. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? That's not appropriate. You know, God honors marriage. You don't do stuff like that. But my biggest issue is the fact that we live in a society where friends are only friends with you when you have something. Sadly. I don't know. As I'm getting older, I'm learning, I'm growing. I'm starting to realize stuff. I'm starting to understand that the importance of being an adult is finding myself. I don't have to be a famous person. I don't have to be this or that. I can set my goals the way I want to set my goals. You know what I mean? And it's just sad when you have people who you thought that knew you ever since you were kids to sit there and disrespect you. I'll start with my friend, and we'll just say the S friend. Me and this S friend have been friends ever since 2nd grade. And I'm not gonna lie, things got a little rocky once we got older. But she went to the University of Indianapolis and changed up on me. And I was looking at her like, what? We used to be friends forever. Now all of a sudden things change? Are you serious? So I'm trying to figure out, why is everything changing because of the fact that you want to be bougie? Oh, now you got a certain group of friends, right? A certain group of friends that you want to deal with because they accept you? Is that what you're telling me? Because your friends are accepting you and they're not giving you a hard time or whatever, that you can do X, Y, and Z? I don't understand that. Help me help you understand this stuff. I am not a perfect person. I keep saying it in every video. I'm a person that's just trying to understand the truth. And when you have friends that sit there and been basically lying to you the whole entire time. I'll even explain it with friend Jay. She got mad because she said, I've been feeling this way. I told her that she's been disrespectful since we were kids. I said, because you have. And she's like, so you've been feeling this way and never told me. I said, it's not like I didn't tell you. I told you. You chose not to listen. I can't help if you choose not to listen to something. That's on you. That's a you problem, not a me problem. But I'll even talk about it with my family. Like, my family is a very respectable family. But I have an issue with some of my relatives because I feel like they walk on water because they're saved people. They feel like they can just talk to anybody any kind of way. And my uncle's the main one. Like, he has church and he's just disrespectful at times. I love him, but I don't like him as a person. Probably will never like him because of stuff that he did to me and my mom. I don't like that. You guys basically got a chance to live like kings and queens, and on my graduation, that's the thing that I have to talk about. My graduation basically was messed up because we had to go find a place to live. I can't even enjoy my celebration because not only is my grandmother gone and living in Atlanta, that's another thing that my auntie doesn't tell the truth about. She keeps saying that she lived in there for 7 years. No, she did not. It was only 5 years. We were there for 11 years taking care of her. Period. Well, everybody was talking about how my mom wasn't doing this and that and the third. No, the truth is the truth. Period. You guys have always been liars. Just like my dad's side of the family. My dad's side of the family ain't nothing, because you want to know why? He always wants to sit there and say he never, assaulted me or something. You know what I'm saying? And it is the truth. I have paperwork and documents to talk about it. Because of the fact that, why would you do that to your own daughter? That's my thing. You don't want to tell nobody the truth about the stuff that you guys do. That's the thing about people. When they reach a certain platform, they feel like they're entitled to treat you any kind of way. Interesting, right? But anyway, back to my friend situation. Like, I guess we didn't get along about something and I thought that we were okay. You know what I'm saying? I thought that we were close. I thought we were this and that and third, and you didn't do anything. Then I come to find out you got offended because she said something again. So then even with my mom and me don't get along all the time, but I still love her. We have conversations. We just had a conversation today, but I'm not going to go into that because that's my mother. That's the difference. I respect my mother enough not to say everything on media. Now I might say it on Instagram, and that's another topic that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, but that's not the only thing. I just feel like people need to understand that when you have friends, you are not entitled to be their friend. You are not entitled for folks to know who you are. You are not entitled to do anything of that nature. And I'm just going to be honest with you. My family doesn't tell the truth about a lot of stuff because they don't want the truth to come out. That's the real thing. My family has a history of being disrespectful to people and then never apologizing. Then they want to sit there and get up on the pulpit and preach. That's not appropriate. Nobody wants to talk about that. Well, I'm going to talk about that. If you expect anybody to get saved, you got to live the lifestyle too. I'm not perfect. Like, I live in a society where we're not perfect. You know, there's people that are hated just because of the sexual orientation, and it sucks, but that's kind of what happens. I'm gonna touch bases on some stuff with the Truth Show. I think it's stupid that the Truth Show doesn't get a lot of merit. Like, that's a good channel, and they don't get enough likes and views and all that other stuff just because she deals with, you know, sensitive sensory topics. You know, very sensitive. But that's another story. I had a situation with Insta, and I have to call it that because I want to be respectful. They basically said that my account was supposed to get deleted because of the fact that I made some outlandish hate speech statements. No. I was just under that situation where I felt like I was really sad, so I was going off on everybody. I didn't hate nobody. I don't hate a certain race or anything. I don't. It's just that at that time I must have been really angry. So how is it that you guys have a right to take my stuff almost down, but people can talk and say slurs and slanders, but y'all don't do nothing? But it's that kind of world, right? You guys can do it because you're not brown, but I'm brown, right? Okay. So basically, I've been in the Midwest for like the majority of my life, and I just feel like some people need to understand that it's sad that we live in a society that doesn't honor the truth. And I've just been angry about a lot of stuff because I just felt like my friends were being fraudulent, and I noticed a little fraudulence in myself because I try to change. Like, people don't understand being mixed is hard, especially if you're dark and mixed. They don't understand how difficult it is. Like, I'll never forget my first time being in the Midwest, and I went to school and they were like, why are your gums black? Or how come you have curly hair and you're a black person or something? You know, people just make stupid statements when you're young. But for it to continue, and for it to continue into being a situation where it now affects you emotionally and mentally, that's just horrible. I don't like the fact that nobody takes ownership when I tell them, hey, maybe this way is the reason why I got this. And I had family members say, it's not my fault that you lost your job. No, it's not about that. It's the fact that if I can't get to point A to point B, how the heck do you expect me to put money in the household if I don't have a car? It's not about that I want a car so bad. It's just the fact that I want to be able to build my credit. That's all I'm saying. If I'm doing it the wrong way, then I get it. But I'm saying, allow me to make mistakes and learn from them. You can't be swaddling me. And in 6 years, I'll be 30. Like, what are we doing? I know I'm a girl, but women do this stuff all the time. What are we flexing and unflexing for? I had to deal with like my college. My college is a really awesome college. I love IWU, you know. It's a great college, but you have to be careful with any college, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really be careful because people nowadays are really trying to get after folks' financial aid. And I've been trying my hardest to pass a class and stuff, and I finally did. But I'm not gonna lie, my history teacher was a butt face. He really was. He was disrespectful at the fact that I was at a funeral of a family member and you just didn't say anything. Why did you feel like you had the need to do that? I am not coming on here to bash anybody, but I'm here to tell the truth. That's why it is called SMS News Channel. To talk about stuff in my life, not all of it, stuff that I see on a daily basis, to be real with other people. You cannot grow from stuff if you're not learning things. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to be a light and shed a light to people. And hopefully you'll see more videos throughout this week. And it is what it is. So I'll see y'all next time on the SMS News Channel. All right, bye.